whatever we say that we'll put in, they put in as well.
Got it.
Cool.
I think that's great. Okay, so if they can match 100,000, that would be super.
Mhm.
And if we could wrangle some more and they could match that, that would even be better. But
Yeah.
we'll take 100,000. That'd be good
Mhm.
if that could happen. All right. So next up, unless Jandy, could you give us an update, and Jen, maybe on the trustee members? Do we have applicants for that? I think Georgette said we had 4 at the last meeting. Was that for our trustees, or was that actually for the librarian? I was a little confused.
So it's for the trustees. We have 4 applications. I'm meeting. We were supposed to meet yesterday, but it didn't work out. I'm meeting with the mayor to go over those applications and decide what our next step will be. So we have 2 openings.
Right.
And figure out if we want to interview all of them, if there's only certain ones we want to interview. And I probably will also check in with them to make sure they're still interested in the position, just because I know we have city council openings. We have, it seems like every commission we have openings on. So I don't know if any of those people have been selected for another commission, just since it's been a while since we opened the applications. So.
Right. Okay. Could you do me a favor? Could you check to see when you go through your applications if Sharon Sell is one of your applicants? Because I know she has expressed an interest to me, and she said she had applied, but she hasn't heard anything, so she was kind of getting a little bit, what's
Her name doesn't sound familiar. I have them right here.
okay. I think she said
I don't have a Sharon Sale on here.
Sell. Yeah, Sharon Sell. I think she said she went online. I'll talk to her again. Try to make sure she gets her name in there. She's pretty interested. I think she would be a good person to have with us. There's probably out of those other 4, they're probably as qualified. So anyway, okay. So I'll let her know that you don't have that in your hand anyway, and she can move forward however she wants to. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the new policy that you have in mind for us to take a look at.
Okay. So I went to a all-day director meeting last Thursday, and book reconsiderations were a hot topic because a lot of people have seen an influx in those in the last couple months. And so I was talking to them about how ours, they can take it to city council. And that just seemed a little bit hairy to me with, I don't know, the politics of it all. And so a lot of the city libraries perked up and explained to me that the RCWs for the city, all the libraries and all the cities in Washington say that the library board has the authority to make the final decision on what books we have in the collection. So it's not a requirement that these things have to go to the city council. And so they kind of recommended, kind of like with the politics of it all, that it shouldn't necessarily be something that goes to the city council. And so I wanted to get you guys' opinion on that.
I agree.
I agree. I read through what they have, and I like that the first step is that they have to go to the library director, and that the director is given 30 days to respond. I feel like that creates a big buffer, and it would filter out a lot of just ill-conceived, requests that maybe are motivated for other reasons. And so I think it would filter a lot down before they come to the board for consideration by having the director be the first stop for that. And then having it stop at the board. I agree that that's probably the best course of action.
On board.
Is there still I didn't have a chance to read completely through it, Jandy.
Mhm.
Is there still a 60-day period for the board to respond if they decide to go to the board?
So I pulled up our
That's not going to change because ours says that 60 days.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I kind of wanted to marry these 2 policies. So I like how ours says in it that the board has 60 days to respond. because that gives us enough time. The thing that I liked about this new policy is that it says that a decision will be made by the library board at a regularly scheduled meeting. And once a decision has been rendered, they'll receive notification. So I kind of liked how it would give us time. We have the 60 days to respond, and we can just talk about it at our next coming meeting, and then we can send them our decision. The other thing I liked about the new policy that I found is it says in there that the material will remain in the collection during the review process. So it lets them know that that book's going to be on the shelf while we're still reconsidering everything. The other thing I liked about this policy is that it has you won't be able to see because of my background, but it has this whole page questionnaire that the person who's making the complaint has to fill out and give to the library director. So ask them, you put the title, the author, what kind of material it is. It asks them if they listened to, did they read the whole book that they have an offense with? It asks them to list the specific pages or illustrations that they might have an objection to, so that we have that to work off of. It also asks them how the material came to their attention. Did their child read it? Did they hear about it on the internet? Not that it really matters. It just gives us really good context for everything. And then it also asks them to present other materials that they think it says, what other materials of quality or relevance on this subject would you recommend? So it's kind of like, instead of just being like, I don't like this book, they have to kind of say, I don't like this book, and I think this book would be better.
Yeah,
Perfect. That's
I like
great.
that.
I really like that. It talks about how we'll give them a copy of the collection development policy, the library bill of rights, the freedom to read, all of those things that we do. And then at the very end, it asks them, what do you want us to do about it? So ask them, do you want the material to be removed from the library? Do you think the material is, maybe it's too young for a child and I think it should be in the adult collection? So ask them what they want us to do about it. Do we want to take it out altogether or just move it somewhere else in the library? So I feel like it gives us good context, and it walks them through the process as well, so that we kind of get everything that we need, versus just saying you can submit a complaint to the director. So
I think it's great.
I liked that this library had this form. So my proposal would be, if I can write up a new version of, take our policy, add the dates, add this, all this stuff, and then bring it back to you guys to review in its final iteration. I didn't want to move forward if you guys, so.
We're on the same page.
I like this a lot. I think that it will limit, or it'll filter out just arbitrary complaints too, because the person has to actually think through why, what they're asking of us.
Yeah.
And then because there's that first step with the library director, I think it's great. So I agree.
Jaddy, I thank you for doing this, I guess, and considering that it probably needs to end with the library at the trustees rather than going into a political situation and going to the council. I really appreciate you thinking forward in that direction. I think it should stay within the library itself and the overseers of the library in terms of these kinds of considerations. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
I just thought you guys did such a good job with our first, this is the first reconsideration that I'm aware of that we've had in 6 years. I've been here 6 years and I've never had a book reconsideration before. So I thought you guys did a phenomenal job on everything. And now we can, I guess, just like button it up a little bit and make it a little bit simpler for stuff in the future.
Yeah. We'll undoubtedly have more. Everybody's offended by something these days.
I think this will be good to have. So you're going to work on finalizing how it's going to look, and then we can put our stamp of approval on it. Will you have that for our next meeting, or did you want to wait?
So my plan was I'd have it all ready to go before our next meeting.
Okay,
and then I can send it out to you guys. You guys can review it all, and then we can talk about it and approve it at our next meeting.
sounds great.
Jenny, you can put in there how the process, like if they bring it to you, just say, go fly a kite. Where you have to go through and follow through with going to the board with it. Is there a limitation on what the librarian can do? I'm not thinking of you specific, I'm thinking about the future.
Sorry, I'm not quite understanding your question.
Well, the first stop is with the librarian.
Yes.
And so the second stop, I mean, how does it go from the librarian to the board?
Okay, so the individual brings it to the library director.
Okay, I see that.
The
They're not-
library director will send a message within 7 days saying, hey, I got your reconsideration. I'll get back with you. And then the library director has 30 days to make a written response and say, yes, I agree with you. No, I don't agree with you. And then if they want to take it to the board, then they will, the librarian will take everything that person gave them and give it to the board.
That's if there's still a
Does that answer your
disagreement?
question?
Well, yeah, and I'm just wondering, like, if you satisfy their answer and they go away, there's no reason to come to the board.
No, then
If-
it will just be done.
So if you don't satisfy them, there's a disagreement, and
Mhm.
it goes to the board. If you agree with them and say this book looks to be a violation of our policy, that also comes to the board. Right? If the board makes a final decision, right? Even if you agree with the patron, it still comes to us. If you disagree with the patron, it comes to us.
That's not the way I interpreted it.
That's why I'm curious. I want to see
Yeah.
what our policy, how it defines when it comes to the board. That's the only thing I was mentioning.
Yeah, my interpretation, Tim, was that if it goes to the librarian, the director, and she says that I agree with you, the book should be put in a different section, or we should pull the book off the shelf, then it ends there, it doesn't come to us.
Okay,
If it goes to the library director says, no, I disagree with you. It's in the right category in our library. It's where it belongs. And the patron disagrees, then they petition the trustees, and then the
Okay.
trustees have to weigh in on it. Is
Okay.
that right, Jandy? That's the way I
Yes.
interpret it.
I just want to make sure we spell that out so we don't have to, anyway, when we do our
Yes.
policy.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay. And Jandy, what you're taking out basically is the step to be able to go to the city council, correct? Basically,
Yes.
everything basically will stay the same except for the step to go to the city council.
Yes.
Pretty much. Got it.
Yes. So I just kind of I like some of our verbiage and some of their verbiage. I'm going to
Right.
marry that and
Okay.
then take out the city council and add this form on the end that they'll fill out.
I would just put director or acting director also in case there's a director that's out having another kid or something.
That's a good point.
Good point.
Yeah,
Yes.
very good point. Okay. I don't see anything else under new business. Anybody have anything else to add? So Tim, you're gonna put together some things to send to me in regards to the presentation.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and Teresa, if you want to weigh in on that too, please send me some stuff. I'll try to get it arranged and then send it back out to you. And I'll send it to also Jan. I'll get a copy to you this time and to Jan as well.
Cool.
Okay. All right. Anything else, Jandy?
I don't think so. I was just going to say, I'm going to read through your slides again too. And if I have anything to add, I'll send that to you.
Also you, I didn't need that. I didn't.
No, you're good.
I'm sorry. Of course you need to weigh in. Okay. All right. Then I think we are done for today's meeting. Thanks for everybody's attendance and
Tim has a
real-
question.
Real quick, I just want to ask a question. Jen, by us sharing our thoughts, et cetera, it doesn't constitute a meeting. We don't have any RCW things to worry about, do we? As far as on email, giving all these thoughts to Brad?
I think it's fine as long as you don't have reply all conversation.
Okay.
So if we have one
One-on-one.
person at the head, yeah, one-on-one, send it one way. Like if Brad sends something out and says, here's my initial presentation, please feel free to email me anything additional. And Tim, you have something you want to add, you just email directly to him.
Okay.
You don't reply all, because
You want
then
to
it costs,
collaborate outside
Yeah.
of the meeting. Okay,
don't collaborate together in a reply all format.
okay,
Thank you, Tim.
cool. Just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, thanks
Thanks.
for clarifying that. Yeah. Okay,
And then I didn't know if anyone was taking notes, so I took notes. I'll send those out to everybody.
well, thank you, because I was taking notes and I was supposed to be the secretary taking notes, and then I kind of, like I said, default took over this role.
Yeah,
But once we get everybody online, hopefully we can look at all the roles again and get that all ironed out. But thanks,
Okay.
Jandy.
yeah, I don't mind just because a lot of the thoughts are mine, so it's easy for me to type them up.
All right, great. Appreciate it very much.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks,
Meeting adjourned.
guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.